Hello and welcome to France 24's weekly music show. I'm Jennifer Ben Brahim. Coming up on today's show. Antoine Innocent, aka Innocent, not only blends his cultural heritage but his musical influences from Lenny Kravitz, Weeknd and Amy Winehouse, to name but a few. He's just dropped his debut EP 6, and it's a mix of haunting ballads and fierce up-tempo tracks that are all deeply personal. Now, Antoine Innocent, aka Innocent, welcome to France 24 for the first time.
Thank you for having me.
Your sound is very much a kind of pop hybrid, I would say. What is it about pop music that you love so much, that you're drawn to?
First of all, pop music is the only kind of genre I've always listened to, but pop music in the broad sense of it. So Stevie Wonder for me is pop music. Okay. It's really the thing that resonates the most with me. I love when it's not complicated, but at the same time super complicated to make it not complicated like that. That's why I love pop music.
You definitely hear that for your Fury songs on the EP. Now, before we dive into the EP a little bit deeper, we're going to talk about another artist who's also trying to reconnect with her pop roots, and that's a certain Lady Gaga. She is set to drop her much-anticipated 7th studio album called Mayhem, now recorded at Rick Rubin's legendary Shangri-La Studios in Malibu. Gaga said this album was guided by her profound love of music, and it includes a Grammy-winning collaboration with Bruno Mars called Die with a Smile, and this next highly addictive track, I have to say, I've had it in my head all weekend, called Abracadabra. So that was an incredible video for Abracadabra with some very classic kind of early Gaga choreography. Now, Innocent, are you a fan of Gaga?
I love her. I love her, especially when she's in acoustic on the piano. It's amazing.
I think people forget that she has such an incredible voice, like behind all the kind of choreography.
She's an amazing artist.
Yeah.
An amazing actress, an amazing singer. No, she's an amazing artist.
Maybe we'll see you having some choreography of your future work, kind of similar to Lady Gaga. Now, back to your first EP 6. What does the number 6 actually signify to you? What does it mean for this record?
So it's actually so 6 is it took 6 years to create the EP. But at the same time, it's basically about one relationship, my first love. And the whole relationship lasted 6 years. And also one last thing, 6 songs. Each song is a different way to ask someone to stay, basically.
Oh, wow. Okay, it all kind of worked out pretty well, the number 6.
It's a complete coincidence.
Okay, well, sometimes coincidences will work out the best. Well, we're going to listen to one of the live performances from the EP. This is Mallory.
My Mallory, tell me what you want from me. My Mallory, don't take my girl away from me. In the middle of the night, she whispers the sound that makes up the letters of her name and buries me in doubt. This underlying truth that haunts my every moment.
So that was Mallory from Innocent's first EP 6. Now, I believe this song, I might be wrong, but it's inspired by quite an unlikely country legend.
Yeah, of course, Dolly Parton.
The one and only.
The one and only. No, the song is inspired by Jolene. So I love that song, and I remember I was in the studio of my basement, and and I was writing the song, and I had this feeling. So I remember this story that happened with my ex, where her best friend was kind of in love with her.
Oh.
And they had a weird relationship, but at the same time we were kids. And so that's who Mallory is.
Oh, wow. So she's the Jolene, so to speak.
Exactly.
Wow, okay.
Don't take my girl away from me.
Yeah, what a very unusual twist on the Dolly Parton song. Now, you've had a very cosmopolitan life. Sounds very tiring, all this traveling around. You were born in Paris to a Franco-Romanian mother and a Haitian father. And you spent time in the US, in Ottawa, before coming to settle in Brussels.
Exactly.
How have all these kind of movements and like cultural influences kind of shaped your sound?
First of all, the genres of music I've been listening to ever since I was a kid there's a lot of different songs and genres I've listened to. My mom was really into French music and Ne me quitte pas Jacques Brel, all those songs. And my dad was a crooner, Frank Sinatra. But when I arrived in Canada, that's where I discovered country music, and that's where I discovered hip hop too, and R&B. So really every single place that I've been to really taught me a lot musically. And Brussels taught me how to, because the one thing I love about Brussels is that the artist scene there is incredible. Because there's a lot of talented people, and Brussels really helps you express yourself as an artist, more than different cities.
It's quite a multicultural city that everyone kind of comes together to make these blended
There's
music.
no pressure, it's just be you.
Now, you mentioned just before about your father. Now, I understand that he was a singer and he took part in these competitions covering, as you're mentioning, the likes of like Frank Sinatra, Nat King Cole, Charles Aznavour. And I believe that you actually joined him sometimes on stage. You went around with him. How much of a role model has he been for you in your career?
He was a big role model. So he's been in the US ever since I was born. And I've been on stage with him. I've been touring every summer with him for the longest time. And he put me on stage when I was 3. So
3? Oh my goodness! Yeah. Wow, that's like the best training you can ever have.
Oh yeah, that's also what I tell myself right before going on stage for one of my concerts. I'm like, okay, I've been on stage ever since I was 3. If I can't make it, nobody can.
Yeah, like you have the longest training out of anyone, so you're perfect. Now we're gonna move on to another musician, another group. You might not have heard of them. They're a Scottish post-rock band, and they're celebrating 30 years of career this year. Mogwai, to celebrate, are releasing their 11th studio album called The Bad Fire. Now I actually met up with the lead singer and guitarist Stuart Braithwaite right here in Paris. Take a listen.
Hi, I am Stuart Braithwaite. I play the guitar in the band Mogwai, and our new album is called The Bad Fire. Mogwai means devil in Cantonese. We do have quite a lot of religion and damnation in our song titles and album titles. The phrase "the bad fire" is a Glaswegian term. It basically means hell. So if you are kind of trying to scare children, you'll tell them that if they don't do something, pick up their clothes or whatever, that they're going to go to the bad fire. So we thought this was quite amusing, and that's why we decided to call the record that. Round about the period of writing this album, we were going through quite a lot. We lost a lot of friends and family members, and Barry's little girl got very sick and was in hospital for almost a whole year. When we eventually got to get together and write and record the record, it definitely felt cathartic, and I think you can hear that in the music. Next up is the video for our song Lion Rumpus. The video was directed by Anthony Kravitz. It was his idea. He basically said he's got a friend in New York who's Scottish also who walks dogs, and he was like, I'm just going to stick a load of GoPros on dogs. And we're like, yeah, that sounds cool. We love dogs. I think what makes Scottish music so unique is probably the spirit behind it. I think there's a lot of quite independent-minded people in Scotland, and maybe because it's quite far away from London, people aren't quite as quick to kind of jump on different trends and that kind of thing, so people tend to plough their own path, and yeah, I think you can hear that in the music. If I was stranded on a desert island and had to pick one Mogwai single, it would probably be one of our early singles, New Path to Helicon. It was a very exciting time for the band when we made it. It was just when things were kind of getting a little bit more serious. So yeah, I'd probably pick that one.
So that was Mogwai, her latest album, The Bad Fire. Now a record that, as you heard, Stuart Braithwaite made during quite difficult time in the band's lives, like all of their lives. Now, I know that Innocent, for you, there's one song off the EP, Sober, that also touches on this very kind of difficult time in your life. Can you share with us a bit more?
Yeah, completely. Sober is it's basically when I hit my rock bottom. So I lost my best friend tragically in 2018, and 2 months later, the girl the whole EP is about left, and I was basically just telling her, listen, you can leave tomorrow, you can leave the day after, but please don't leave today, because I just can't handle it. And that's exactly the Sober song right now.
Yeah, well, something positive came out of all that, this debut EP.
Completely.
Now, we're coming to the end of the show. It's gone very quickly as usual. And now, before we finish, I'm going to just announce there's a concert if you want to catch Innocent on the 6th of May at an undisclosed location, but just check out, obviously, social media and you'll find out more. Now, before we go, we're going to talk about another album of the week from a Tuareg guitar virtuoso called Mdou Mokhtar. Tears of Injustice is a reimagining of and a re-recording of last year's Funeral for Justice record, and this time it's fully acoustic and with traditional instruments. Now I'll leave you with the track Takoba. For more arts and culture, you can head to our website. There's more news coming up on France 24 after this.